Pro Fortnite players have always seemed to be doing things much better than average Fortnite gamers, and that could be just because of their settings and their PC. So in this video, we're going to be going over Fortnite settings and the Epic Games Launcher settings, along with power plan, Nvidia settings, Radeon settings, network, and then some stuff that is very saucy for your PC that's going to guarantee give you a FPS boost or fix your problems if you have any. So without further ado, let's get started with the Fortnite in-game settings and get them to the same level as your favorite pro. So the best Fortnite settings are going to be window mode, set it to full screen, and if you're on stretched res, you want to be using full screen. Now I know some people use stretched resolution and they have to use windowed full screen for some odd reason, or they think they do. That's because they set it up wrong. So if you go to this video that I have right here with this thumbnail, you're going to find the best ways to set up stretched resolution and then be able to run it in full screen mode without any extra added input delay. Frame rate limit for everyone, I recommend setting it to a multiple of your refresh rate. So if you're on a 60 Hz monitor, just set it to 240. That's completely fine if you get 240 FPS. If you're on a 240 Hz monitor and you have a really good PC and it gets 360 FPS, then cap at 360. And if you're on a 360 Hz monitor, just cap at 360. Now, if you're on a 540 Hz monitor, then set this to unlimited and then watch my fixed screen tearing guide in order to set up your 540 Hz monitor for the lowest possible input delay with no screen tearing, with no stutters in your game, and then just completely fluid gameplay that's crystal clear. Rendering mode, of course, as everyone should do, is performance mode. If you are on AMD Radeon, you could test DX12. It might be way more stable for you, but performance mode has been really good this season, so I recommend performance mode for everybody. And scroll down, these right here are just personal preference. You can just set them to whatever you want. And then 3D resolution for everybody, set that to 100%. If you have a bad graphics card, like a GTX 1650 or lower, you can experiment with 75% 3D resolution and get slightly better FPS. However, if you have anything above a 1660, this lowering it down will not really affect that game that much. So just keep it at 100% just because you are losing a lot of competitive advantages if you are going lower. View distance, just because I like to see items from far away, I set this to far, and this does not really reduce my FPS at all on a 3090 and an i9. If you're on a terrible PC like a GTX 1650 and maybe a Ryzen 3 or i3, then maybe try just leaving this on near, but for most of you, this will not really affect the FPS that much. Textures, of course, with everybody, set this to low. Meshes, of course, low, and then show FPS on. And if you're on DirectX 11, make sure to turn on reflex and then go back to performance mode. If you don't have reflex low latency enabled, then you are going to get extra added latency. It's better to have that on regardless of the scenario. Then go to the gear icon on the top, scroll down, and then turn off Nvidia highlights and peripheral lighting, and then scroll down some more. And then replays, if you don't really use replays at all, then turn them off because they do reduce performance. So make sure to turn them off if you don't use them. And then energy saving options, just turn these off just because they're very unneeded unless you're on a laptop. And that's pretty much it for the best competitive settings for Fortnite in terms of your in-game settings. So now we're going to jump into the Epic Games Launcher settings. So in Epic Games Launcher, it's pretty straightforward. Go to the profile icon on the right, go to settings, uncheck minimize the system tray, and uncheck run my computer starts, and uncheck the desktop notifications. And if you scroll down to the bottom and click on Fortnite, additional command line arguments, these do not do anything in Fortnite. So if you do watch videos that tell you to change stuff, or if you do have some stuff typed into here, erase it and just uncheck this. It does absolutely nothing. Then go back and then go to library, and then you're going to click the three dots right on Fortnite and click options. Uncheck everything except DirectX 12 shaders and pre-download stream assets. If you don't use DX12 regardless, then you can uncheck DX12 shaders, but I use it, so I'm going to keep that checked. So we are all done with the Fortnite specific settings. If you do set up stretch resolution, then watch my previous video on how to set that up properly. Otherwise, we are all done with the Fortnite in-game settings and the Epic Games Launcher settings. Now we're going to go over some general PC things that everyone should do in order to maximize their performance. So press your Windows key and then type power just like so, and then click choose power. You want to make sure that you're using ultimate performance or high performance power plan because this is by far the biggest difference that's going to be made in Windows in terms of your performance. So make sure that is set to a proper power plan. For me personally, I use my own power plan that I've made and I've been using for years, so I don't really have to worry about that. Then the next thing that you want to do is you want to open up your Nvidia control panel, and then you want to follow these following settings. Go to manage 3D settings, and everything from image scaling all the way down to anti-aliasing mode, set it to off, and scroll down. Low latency mode, this setting does not matter at all if you have reflex turned on in the game. So it doesn't really matter what you set it to because reflex will take over. So I recommend just setting it to on. Monitor technology, fixed refresh, unless you're using G-Sync, that's a different story, but if you're not using G-Sync, set it to fixed refresh. Preferred refresh rate, highest available, just like so. And then power management mode, prefer maximum performance. Shader cache size, I set this to unlimited selected, texture filtering, high performance, and then threaded optimization, set this to on. And then vertical sync, just make sure that is off unless you're using the G-Sync method, which I've showed in the past video. Then press apply on the bottom right. Then go to change resolution and then make sure you're using the Nvidia color settings and make sure output dynamic range is set to full and press apply. Go to adjust desktop size and position. If you don't use stretch resolution or if you're following the CRU method to do your stretch resolution, make sure you have your monitor set to no scaling, just because on native you don't really need any scaling, and if you're using the display scaling method for stretch resolution, you don't want this to be scaled using your graphics card, you want it scaled using the display monitor. Then close out of that. Right here I'm going to be showing you some screenshots from the Radeon control panel optimization video. You can watch that, which is a full guide on how to optimize your Radeon graphics card, and it goes over a lot more in-depth things than this video. So watch that if you are looking to maximize your performance on a Radeon graphics card. Now we're going to go over some network settings that everyone should do. So you're going to open up your start menu, type control panel, go to network and internet, network and sharing center, and then click on Ethernet right here, or Wi-Fi if you have that. Click properties, uncheck everything except QoS packet scheduler and internet protocol version 4, and then double click internet protocol version 4. Now, if you're using a DNS server, you can use it. However, this does not reduce your ping. I know a lot of people think this does. It absolutely does nothing. All it does is make your web pages load a little bit faster. So for most of you, just set it to default and it does absolutely the same thing. Double click internet protocol version 4, go to advanced, go to the Wins tab and uncheck enable LM host lookup, and then disable net BIOS over TCP/IP. Make sure that is selected. And press OK, press OK, press OK again, and then press close. And that's pretty much going to be the most of the network settings that you should do. If you do have a network adapter that is pretty much outdated, you could check by going to properties, configure, driver tab. You want to make sure it's on a driver at least from 2024 or a recent driver that's not too old, like from last year. If you're on a 2015 driver or 2018, then you do have to search up your Ethernet controller model and then just find the drivers for it and then just update it to the latest. And this will definitely help your network latency and ping, possibly, just because the older driver versions have some bugs and are just very outdated. So if you update that, that will help a lot. And I do have a full video on network optimization. You could go watch that if it's needed. That's going to be pretty much it for the Windows part of things. What we're going to do now is go over to the BIOS settings. So if you have something called XMP in your BIOS, you want to make sure that is set to enabled. And if you have a good XMP, then you want to make sure that it's set to a speed that works for your motherboard. Now, I know a lot of people that have bought 8,000 megahertz on a motherboard that cannot do 8,000. So if that's you, then you need to realize that that's not going to work on your motherboard, and you need to figure out what the maximum speed for your motherboard is. Now, if you're on Intel and you have a motherboard with 4 RAM slots, the maximum for all of you is going to be most likely 7,200 or 6,800. So if that's the case, then just set it to that if your XMP goes way beyond that. But for most of you, if you just turn on XMP, it's already going to be set to 6,000 or 6,400 or some speed along those lines. If you're on AMD, the sweet spot for all of you is going to be 6,000 megahertz, regardless of what AMD CPU you have. That's on DDR5. Now, if you're on DDR4 or any of that that's older, just make sure that you are on XMP and it's at the reasonable speed. If it's at 4,000 megahertz, you might have some issues on Intel, but that's completely fine. Just drop it down to 3,800. If you're on AMD 4000, then just set it to 3,800 or 3,600, and that's all you have to do. Now, the last part that you want to check is your temperatures, and this is really important. A lot of Fortnite players are playing the game with very, very high CPU temperatures, and they're overheating and they're causing FPS drops, stutters, and just terrible input delay. So how do you check your temperatures? So I'm gonna hop back into the PC just like so, link in the description, and go to HW info. Then once you're here, you're gonna hover over installer, go to free download, and then click local just like so, and then just open up this file and install HW info just by pressing next a whole bunch of times. Press finish, and this is really important. Click sensors only just like so, and press start. Then once you have done that, you're gonna scroll down on Intel and look for core temperatures and CPU package. If you have the game opened, then just launch a match and then put this on your second monitor and make sure your FPS is set to the FPS that you cap at. Now, if you're reaching above 75 degrees on the core temperatures and CPU package on Intel with Fortnite in the background and you're playing it, then you are going to have massive issues with performance and you're going to have very high input delay. So if that's you, then you need to think about upgrading your CPU cooler or replacing your thermal paste if you have not done so in a while. Now, if you're an AMD, it's going to be the same exact thing, but it's going to be called CPU TCL/TDOT, and it's going to be the first one right here. If that goes above 75 degrees, then it's going to be way more worse than Intel, just because AMD, every time it gets hotter, it will lower and lower and lower the speed slowly in order to the point where you're just going to get terrible performance. So if that's the case for you on AMD, then you need to think about getting a new CPU cooler or replacing your thermal paste if you already have a good CPU cooler. And I'll be linking some good CPU coolers in the description that are not too too costly. And I'm also going to put some of the best CPU coolers in the description for the guys that are on Intel and need the best cooling. Other than that, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you guys increased your FPS or fixed your stutters, then comment down below, share this with your friends, and make sure to like this video if you want more stuff like this. But if you guys are interested in a full PC optimization service like the ones that pros get, then go to the first link in the description and book a PC optimization service with me. We go through your whole PC and optimize it from your BIOS settings all the way to in-game settings and your Windows settings. Other than that, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Peace out.